Everyone in that stadium was cheering for a ghost tonight. They pinned that ghost name to a gown, assigned him a seat, handed him a future. The ghost was me. I'd been dead for 8 months before I ever set foot in Westbridge High. Dead on paper, at least. Dead in the system. Scrubbed clean, the way only someone who knows exactly how to disappear can manage. The boy whose name I was wearing, Marcus Hale, died in a car accident outside of Reno. No close family, no one waiting for him on graduation day, no one who would notice if his record suddenly reactivated. No one except the school, the teachers, the 1,700 people in those folding chairs, and the one person I came here to destroy. Before we go any further, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because the story you're about to hear does not go where you think it goes, not even close. The first thing you need when you want to become someone else is patience. Not bravery, not money, patience. I found Marcus Hale the way you find most things in 2025, not by looking, but by filtering. He was the right age, the right general build, the right ghost. His digital footprint was small but consistent. A Facebook page his mother had memorialized, a Spotify account still active, still feeding an algorithm that didn't know he was gone. I spent 6 weeks just reading, just watching, learning the rhythm of who he was, his speech patterns, short sentences, clipped. He said, nah, more than no. He liked rap and hated anything acoustic. He had a slight Texas accent he was clearly trying to hide. I practiced in front of a mirror every morning for a month. The documents came next. In 2026, most districts use biometric access for their enrollment verification systems, a fingerprint cross-check against a national student database. What people don't understand is that the database doesn't authenticate identity, it authenticates enrollment status. If a student's record is marked transferred rather than deceased, a 2-digit code difference in an XML field, the biometric prompt never triggers. It assumes the student exists. It assumes the fingerprint it's about to register is simply new to this district. I'm not going to tell you how I got that field changed. I'm going to tell you it worked. I need you to pause right here, because what this person did next, how they actually walked into that school without being caught, is the part that floored me when I first read the case file. Like this video so the algorithm keeps pushing stories like this. Now, let's keep going. Walking into Westbridge the first morning felt like stepping into someone else's dream. The lockers were the same generic metal as every other school. The lights hummed the same low fluorescent buzz. The kids were the same mix of exhausted and performing cool, performing unbothered, performing like none of them were terrified of what came after this place. I had 3 objectives on day 1. First, find him. Second, don't let him find me. Third, become invisible to everyone else. His name was Derek Solis. Derek Solis, who had spent 3 years systematically destroying the person I used to be. Not through one dramatic act, through 100 small ones. A rumor here, a door closed there, a recommendation letter that never got written, a girl I loved turned against me, with stories I still don't know the full shape of. I had been erased from my own life before I ever decided to erase myself on paper. So, when I walked into Westbridge as Marcus Hale, I understood something most people don't. The most dangerous person in any room isn't the loudest one. It's the one you stop noticing. I sat near the back, volunteered nothing, mirrored Derek's social circle from a distance, first learned who his allies were, who his parasites were, who genuinely feared him, and who was simply too close to see clearly. The anxiety was constant, a low-grade current running under everything. Every facial recognition camera I passed, and there were 11 of them between the parking lot and third period, was a small moment of reckoning. Every substitute teacher checking a roster. Every student who looked at me a half second too long. I maintained a 3.8 gigapascals. Perfect attendance. Turned in every assignment early. The best camouflage at any institution is competence. No one investigates a student who doesn't give them a reason to. 4 months in, I began moving pieces. Derek's protection came from proximity from the people who kept him elevated. His best friend, Jordan, who covered for him socially. His girlfriend, Priya, who gave him credibility with teachers. His coach, who looked the other way at things that should have ended his athletic career 2 years ago. I didn't attack any of them. I didn't have to. I planted small contradictions. I let slip to Jordan casually. In the way you mention something you assume is already known, that Derek had been talking to Jordan's ex. It wasn't true. But it didn't need to be true to create distance. It just needed to be plausible. With Priya, it was simpler. I let her find a message thread, or what looked like one. The details don't matter. What matters is that by March, Derek Solis was arriving at school alone. The coach was the last piece. I reported, anonymously, 3 separate incidents to the athletic director, each one documented, each one verifiable, each one something the coach had quietly buried. By April, the coach had been placed on administrative review and was no longer in a position to intervene on Derek's behalf. I want you to understand something. I wasn't improvising. I had mapped Derek's daily schedule to a 7-minute margin. I knew which bathroom he used between second and third period. I knew his car was parked in the same spot every day, 3rd row, southeast corner. I knew that on Fridays he stayed 40 minutes late to meet with a tutor for AP Physics, and that he always left through the gym exit, and that the camera at that exit had been broken since October, and that I was the one who had broken it. Stop. Did you catch that last line? He broke the camera himself months in advance. This was not a crime of passion. This was architecture. Drop a comment below. Did you see that coming? And if you're watching this without subscribing, now is the time. This channel goes places most won't. Graduation was 8 weeks away. I had everything I needed except the final moment, and I had already been building that for months. Senior week is controlled chaos, which is another word for opportunity. Every administrator's attention is split. Every teacher is simultaneously sentimental and exhausted. The security protocols that govern a normal Tuesday in March simply don't apply to the week every adult in the building is also emotionally checked out. I acquired a facility staff credential on the Wednesday before graduation, a lanyard, a badge, a name I won't share because the person it belongs to doesn't know their card was copied. The venue was Hargrove Civic Center, 12 minutes from campus. I walked it 4 times in 3 days, twice as a facilities worker during setup, once as a vendor's assistant, once as myself, in the crowd of families coming to claim their reserved seats. Every entrance, every camera, every gap in the sightline, every seat assignment, which row Derek would be walking down, how long the procession took from the parking lot to the door. I planted what I needed to plant on Thursday afternoon, during a 40-minute window when the setup crew took their break. There were 2 cameras that covered the section I needed. One of them had a blind spot at exactly the angle I required a support column, throwing a shadow that the camera operator had simply never noticed. On Friday night, the night before graduation, I sat in my temporary apartment and did something I hadn't done in 8 months. I said my own name out loud. Not Marcus Hale's name, mine. I wanted to make sure I still knew it. I genuinely need you to think about what it takes to spend 8 months as someone who doesn't exist just to get to this one night. Graduation is tomorrow. Derek has no idea. Like this video right now if that sent a chill through you. Because what happens next is the part I haven't been able to stop thinking about since I found this case. Graduation morning arrived the way all important mornings do, indifferently. The sun came up, the parking lots filled. Somewhere in the crowd, Derek Solis's mother was crying before a single diploma had been called. I sat in my assigned seat, Marcus Hale, row 7, 3rd from the aisle, and I watched the procession begin. Derek was in row 12. I'd known his exact seat for 3 weeks. The principal began speaking. Parents leaned forward. Phones came out. Everyone was watching the stage. No one was watching me. I want to be careful here. Not because I'm afraid I'm past that, but because what happened next has been described in 17 different ways by 17 different people, and I want you to have the version that is simply true. When Derek stood for his row, when the alphabet finally reached Solis, he found that the envelope beneath his seat, the one I'd placed there Thursday afternoon, had been opened, the contents removed, replaced with something that would follow him out of that building regardless of whether he understood it yet. I'm not going to tell you that justice is clean. I'm not going to give you closure that doesn't exist. What I'll tell you is this. By the time they called Marcus Hale, by the time I crossed that stage and took that diploma with a dead boy's name on it, Derek Solis was no longer in his seat. Whether he left on his own or was helped to leave, whether that morning ended his future or simply redirected it, is a question I'll let you sit with. What I know is that I walked across that stage. I shook the principal's hand. I accepted a diploma for a person who never existed. And then I walked out the side door, turned left, past a broken camera, and disappeared. Marcus Hale never enrolled anywhere else. His record was quietly flagged as enrollment status unknown. No investigation was opened. No one came looking. I told you patience was the most important thing. I was right. Somewhere in a county database, there's a student named Marcus Hale who graduated with honors in the spring of 2025. His GPA was 3.8. He received a commendation from the English department. He never missed a single day. He was a model student. He just wasn't real. If this story got under your skin the way it got under mine, hit that like button. It takes 1 second and it means everything for this channel. And if you want more cases like this, stories that don't flinch, stories that don't give you easy answers, subscribe and turn on notifications. I drop new cases every week and they only get heavier from here. I'll see you in the next one.